So, welcome, Piano 101. All right, guys, so this is going to be an introduction to our music school. For those of you guys that want to learn piano, this is a great time for you to get some great piece of information. All right, so in our piano school, we want to introduce to you what we take our students through. So that would help you to decide whether you should register for classes or not. All right. So our goal of piano school is to help you to play by ear. Okay, play by ear. As quick as possible. And the trick to that is the more you have good listening, the better you will be with picking up these lessons. Okay, so first off, if you want to register for piano school, the number for you to call is +1 571 577 4471. This is this studio and office number. If you call us, we'll be glad to talk with you. You can also email us at studio@liveforchristnetworks.com, as you guys can see on the TV. Thank you all for tuning in. So today we are going to go over a few lessons, basics. Introduction to piano school or our piano school. What are the kind of things we teach you so you register for class? All right. So the first thing we teach you here is, of course, you got to know your circle of fifth or your circle of fifths, or you got to know, a little bit of notes, So mainly, we do a lot of our lessons in C because over the course of years, we realized that a lot of the students pick up faster in the key of C. So we do a lot of our main lessons in C, all right? So say we are working with C, okay? Say we are working with C. How do we go about with, identifying the key notations and a few other things, all right? So in C, this is the key of C. So first things we teach you is the notes on the keyboard, okay? So the notes on the keyboard, when you look at it, a lot of people will be like, wow, that is too much. I can't seem to put together everything that is on here, okay? While you are watching this broadcast, if you have any questions, please drop your questions. I'll be glad to answer it. Okay? I'll be glad to answer your questions. All right? So, when you are learning the key of C, okay, the first thing, you begin to, identify is how do I even know these keys, okay? So the first thing you got to think about is the alphabets, okay? If you know your alphabets, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z, okay? If you know your alphabets, you should be fine getting the keys, okay? Now, you're looking at a keyboard, okay? And the keyboard looks like this, okay? You're looking at a keyboard. A keyboard is composed of a set of black keys and white keys, okay? Now, what you're looking at is you look at a set of twos here, a set of threes here, a set of twos, a set of three, a set of two, a set of three, a set of two, a set of three, and so on. Okay, this is my 49 key, so it's a bit shorter, but it keeps going depending on what you have. I have my other keyboard here. You guys cannot see it in the shot, that is the basics to it. Okay, so with what we are talking about, let me try and exit out of here so I don't get interrupted with calls. I see that I've been getting interrupted with calls. Excuse me 1 second. Let me cut these guys out so they don't bother me. I don't want to get interrupted, so let me cut all these guys out. Okay, great. So, like I said, we are looking at a set of twos, threes, twos, threes, twos, threes, twos, threes, okay? All right, and that's kind of how you have to look at it. So when you look at this set of twos, these two, that is the same thing here. So the note that comes before the two is this right here, and then the node that ends, it ends backwards, will be the same thing right here, if that's how you want to see it. Okay, so you have this to this. Okay, same way you have a set of twos here, and the node before that is this, and the node before that is this. So you have this to this. You also have this to this, same thing, and you have this to this. Okay, so the first thing is identifying these keys, and that's what we do with our piano school. Okay, we help you to identify these keys. Now, with a set of threes, the note before that is this. It's 3. The note before that is this. The note before that is this. So likewise, you have this going. Okay, same thing. Likewise, you have this going. Same thing. Likewise, you have this going. Same thing. You got it? And you can do that with every single key on the keyboard. What is the point here? The point is the keyboard is a repetition of itself. Okay, it repeats itself. So the twos repeat itself, the threes repeat itself. Whatever is here repeats itself. Whatever is here repeats itself. Whatever is here repeats itself. It repeats itself throughout. So that's the first thing for you to understand about the keyboard. While you're looking at something too big, okay, you should be looking at how to identify them. And the first thing is look at the combination of blacks. That is the easiest way to learn it. Look at the combination of blacks. You have a 2, a 3, a 2, a 3, a 2, a 3, and so on. So then you know that this is your 2 and 2. So you are only dealing with the beginning of those, and every note in here is all you have to worry about. So you can block off all this and look at how small the keyboard is for you. This is how small the keyboard is. If you block everything, here, okay, everything here, that's all you got to worry about. Okay, that's all you got to worry about. Say this was not there. Okay, if this was not there, and let me use my laptop, and you had this twos to this twos, okay, you could block off all this, and all you got to worry about is what is in here. Okay, so the keyboard is very simple to understand how it repeats itself. Okay, so the first idea we teach you in piano school is help you to identify the keys, and this is how these are some of the examples of how we teach you to understand it. Teach you the combination of keys and how it repeats itself. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, now I'm going to fast speed because I'm not really doing a true lesson. This is just introduction. So once we teach you how to identify these keys, now the question is, what are these keys? So first things first, we start with our keys within the key of C. It is going to depend on every teacher. The teacher might teach you in F, A flat, whatever. We start with C. So in C, we're going to look for the combination of twos. So at your end, while you are sitting at your keyboard right now, look for combinations of twos. Okay, give me a yes or thumbs up if I pick the right set of twos. So combination of 2. Is that correct? No. Totally wrong. Is that correct? No. Totally wrong. Is that correct? Yay, bravo. Very good. Is that correct? No. Totally wrong. Is that correct? Correct. Bravo. Good job. One more. Is that correct? No. Totally wrong. Bravo. So you guys get a point. 2 blacks, 3 blacks, 2 blacks, 3 blacks, 2 blacks, 3 blacks, 2 blacks, 3 blacks. Okay? And that's kind of how you identify these keys. So to understand the C system, the way we teach our students is we teach them in systems. Okay? Now, the way it works is this. If we are teaching you a system, we stick with one key. Then we teach you the whole system of that key. Then you transfer the system into the other keys. And that's how we teach our piano school. So we are going to go through an introduction of our C course. So our C course comes this way. This is totally for beginners. If you are an advanced, you shouldn't be here. So you have the set of 2. And the first note before it is your first ever key registration. This is the first time you're ever registering a key on the keyboard. That is why on my keyboard, it's ending right here based on my 49, okay? Anyways, it's starting right here based on my 49. At the same time, it's ending with the same note, okay? All right? All right, so your set of 2s, and then the note before that, that will be your first key registration. So since we are telling you we teach our students in C to start off our lessons, what do you think our first key is? F? No, wrong. A? No, wrong. B? No, wrong. D? No, wrong. No need to complicate it. We told you we are teaching you our main system, and our main system we start with is C. So what is the obvious answer, even if you don't know? This key is C, correct. So that is the first thing, the first note we register is C. So we have this set of 2s, and then our first key being C. So now that we know our C, now the simple thing is we have to now understand how to identify everything in here. Because remember, we said this is all we have to worry about, right? These are all we have to worry about, right? From the first registration, all right? That's all we have to worry about. So now that we know our first note being a C, how do we know the rest? Well, guess what? I told you something in the beginning. To identify them, if you know your alphabets, you are in good shape. So let's try the alphabets and see if that is going to work for the keyboard. So since we are saying this is a C, of course, this is not going to be an A. And this is not going to be a B and a C, because this is a C. So guess what? Since we are doing ours in C, that means we got to continue the alphabet. So then, how does that work? C. In your alphabet, what is your next letter? D. Correct. E. Correct. F. Correct. G. Correct. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So now, here is the only trick. The only trick is there is no H or I or so on. So the only trick is on the keyboard, your keys goes from alphabet A to G. Is that not so nice to have alphabet A to G? So if we have done C, D, E, F, G, and we don't have an H and so on, what do you think is next? Remember, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, but we started from C. So if we are at G, what do you think the next note is? The next note is an A. And then now that we are an A, it's very easy. We just continue. B, back to C. And that is why I told you to just only worry about this. Only worry about this. So we started with C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Correct. Clap for yourself. All right. Now that you know from C to C, the question becomes, well, I know my alphabets based on the keys or my keys based on the alphabet, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If I wanted to just do the alphabet without teaching C, then our main system would have been what? If I wanted to just do it according to the system, what would our main system be? Our main system would be an A, but our main system is a C. So our main system would have been an A. Then it would have been very simple for you. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. G, A. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay? And that would have been very, very easy. However, that is not what we are doing. We are doing the key of C. All right? So C to C. So now we know C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And now we know a lot of notes on the keyboard with the help of the general understanding of how the alphabet system works. Okay, great. So the only confusing part is once we got to G, there was no H. We went back to the beginning, A. That was the only thing. Just like A, B, C, D, when we got to G, we didn't go to H, but we came back to A. You get it? So anytime you get to G, you go back to the top. We got it? So that is just understanding a few things about how these keys work. Okay? So now somebody will wonder, well, I have C to C. How do I know all these black demon things in here? Those things look like demons. I don't know how to explain those. How do I know those? So this is where the circle of fifths and a few things will come in, but let's not even go there. So to understand what these notes are, first off, we are going to know something that we call the flat and sharp system. Okay, the flat and sharp system. Okay. In other words, we need to understand what is a major note. We need to understand what is a minor note and what is a sharp and a flat. Okay, so let's talk about that. So to understand the concept of sharps and flats, okay, a sharp is a half step down from the initial note. A sharp is a half step down from the initial note. Somebody will ask, what is a half step down? Let's talk about that. So a sharp is a half step down from an initial note. We're just going to put our hands on any random key. Stop. Okay. So we click on D. Okay, we clicked on D. So if a sharp is a half step down from the initial note, we know that it's going to go down somewhere here. Definitely not up. Down, not up. Down, up. So the first thing is, let's talk about what a half step is, and let's talk about what a whole step is. So halves and wholes. So a half step is one note away from that initial note. One note. In other words, it said a half step is a half step. Sorry, a sharp is a step, half step down from the initial note. So we are talking about half steps and whole steps. We are not talking about sharps and flats now. We are talking about half steps, whole steps. Okay, or half and wholes. Okay, so half, that would be just one. Okay, one down. Okay, one down or one up. So let's do an exercise. Half step down, boom. Half step up, boom. Half step down, boom. Half step down, boom. Half step up, half step down, half step up, half step down, half step up, half step down, half step up, half step down. So you guys get the idea? Let's do another note. Wrong. We pick a random one. Da, 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 boom. Okay. Half step down. Half step up. Half step up. Half step down. Up. Down. Up. Down. Okay, you guys get it? So a half step is basically just one. Uno, 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 uno. Not two, not none. Okay? Back up it. Just one. Okay? So that is a half step down or up. That is what a half step is. So what do you think a whole step is? Back to our original example. If this is a half step down, what do you think a whole step down is? Will it be this D all the way here? No. Will it be 5 notes away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No. If it's only a half step, a whole step is 2. So a half step is 1, a whole step is 2. Half step 1, whole step 2. Half step 1, whole step 2. Half step 1, whole step 2. Let's do another example. Half step 1, whole step 2. 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 Let's do another example. Okay, let's do this. Half step 1, whole step 2. Half step 1, whole step 2. You guys get the idea? So we have a half step being 1, a whole step being 2. Okay, either up or down. So that is down or up. So you're going to hear half step down, half step up. Whatever it says, you just do it that way. Okay? So that is kind of the concept behind half steps and whole steps. Now let's go back to sharp. A sharp is a half step down. So this is our initial note. Okay? This is our, oh sorry, let's do D. So our initial note is D. A sharp is a half step down from the initial note. So to make it a sharp, okay, we are gonna have to go this way. Okay, half step. Sorry guys, half step. Sharps are half step up, not down. Sorry, sharps are half step up. Okay, not down. So a sharp being this. Okay, so that is a sharp. Half step up, half step up, half step up. Let's do another example. Half step up, half step up, half step up. So guys, sorry about that, okay? So half step up. Got it? Then a flat is the opposite of what we are doing. that is half step down. Okay? So we have a sharp being half step up, then we have a flat being half step down. All right? You got it? Great. Sorry for the confusion in the earlier. So we have C. What is a C sharp? We have C. What is a C flat? Let's do another example. We have F. What is an F sharp? Half step up. What is an F flat? Half step down. So guess what? An F flat is also called an E. So the first thing we are beginning to understand is, wow, so an E is also an F flat? That is so weird. Right. So all these keys could also be called something else based on the scale you are using and the concept of the circle of faith you are using. However, as long as you can understand that concept, it really doesn't matter what you really want to call it, if that makes sense. So, in an example of C, this is called C, right? Well, guess what? If we were in the B scale and we did B sharp, guess what C would be? B sharp. So C technically is also a B sharp. You see how that works? So it starts to get confusing a little bit once we bring in sharps and flats, but that is the whole concept. Half step up, half step down, half step up, half step down. F, half step up, half step down, half step up, half step down. Okay, we got the idea? So that is the concept of sharps and flats. Okay, sharps are represented with a pound symbol. Okay, sharps are represented with a pound symbol. Look at what I'm drawing. One, cross. Okay, pound symbol. And then flats are represented with a small b. Okay, on music notation. Okay, so that is how you identify what a sharp and a flat is. So with this understanding, let's come back to what we were doing. We were having fun with C to C. We identified that C, the C scale is C, D, E. Don't worry about the fact that I'm using the terminology C scale. We are going to talk about that very shortly. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Then what we were talking about is, dude, that is fine. I don't have any problem. But how do I identify these black demons? That is when we talk about the C scale. Okay? Remember, we said a sharp is a step up from the initial note, and a flat is a step down from the initial note. In this case, we are going up. So definitely, we don't have to worry about any flats in C. So we have a C, and we want to identify what these two black and three reds are. These black demons. Okay, these black demons. Okay, we want to identify them. Remember, we said a sharp is a half step up from the initial note. So if you wanted to know what this is, what do you think it is? Half step up. That makes it C sharp. Got it? So remember C, D. So C sharp, C, D. D sharp. Somebody might be looking at me and be like, dude, how the heck is that a D sharp? I thought that was an E flat. Well, remember, I said, all these keys have different names based on what scale you are dealing with. Okay? So you have E sharp, you have D, you have D flat. If you want to call it E, sorry, you have D sharp. If you want to call it E flat, then you would have to think about it this way. E is here as a half step down from the initial note makes it a flat. That makes it E flat. So it's called E flat or D sharp. E flat or D sharp. E flat because half step down. D sharp because half step up. We get the idea? So we have figured these two now. We have figured that this is a C sharp. We have figured that this is a D sharp. Okay? D sharp. Okay? Or E flat. Same way here. If you wanted to call this something else other than a C sharp, in other words, if we were doing D, that is example. If we were doing D, and we were to go down a half step, that makes it a flat. So this would be D flat. So in other words, C sharp could also be called a D flat. Whoa, dude, you're blowing my mind. You're killing me here. All right. Don't worry. With time and practice and understanding, once you master the system, you will not have a single issue. You can call this just C sharp all the time like I do. I never call this a D flat ever. I never call this a D sharp ever. I always call it C sharp, E flat. I keep it simple for me. Once you just understand it, you just have to understand the theory behind these keys. Then from there, you can be a bad student or a bad keyboard player from there, if you guys get what I mean. All right? So we figured these two now, right? So we figured C, C sharp, D, E flat, E, F, a half step up, F sharp, G, a half step up, G sharp, A, a half step up. It could be called A sharp. However, if you want to call it B flat, fine, B flat. Okay? B, C, got it? You guys see how very awesome this is? Okay, so we get ideas. Somebody might be wondering, dude, well, we only did it with white keys. What if I was to do with black keys? Would that still work? Let's try. So, we have an F sharp here. Remember F sharp, okay? We have an F sharp here. What if I wanted to do a half step up and down to, identify the how would you call the sharp and flat of this F sharp? So you have the F sharp here. If you wanted to go up, G could be called an F sharp sharp. Can you imagine that? That is crazy. F sharp here could also be called F sharp flat. Can you imagine that? F could be called F sharp flat. Can you believe this? So the point is, when we get to the theory behind these keys, it gets more complicated. All right? So guys, this is just introduction to what we teach. I'm not really going to be teaching you. If you want to learn, register for classes. I'm only giving you a few basics to just kind of open your eyes about how we teach our students and the kind of good information they get, okay? So the first things first, we've learned our C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And we have learned our blacks, C sharp, E flat, F sharp, G sharp, B flat, okay? Or however you want to call it based on the understanding of the sharps and flats or whole step and half step kind of concept that I taught you, okay? So you guys get the idea. So we've learned all these. Well, let me give you some good news. This is why we teach you C, because it introduces us to the next thing we are supposed to be talking about, which is our scale, our major scale. Our major scale. Even though you don't know your major scale of C, What if I told you the fact that you knew your alphabet and went through all these key notations, you know your scale? What if I told you that? This is why we teach our students in C, to help them get the concept very fast. So remember, we just did C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, right? Guess what? That is everything you need to know about your major scales. Okay? That is it. Everything you need to know about your major scale. So here's how it works. With major scales, there are two things for you to understand. You have to understand the formula for major scale. This is the formula you will use for every key. Since this is not a true lesson and just introduction, I'm going to do just two examples. The formula for major scale is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Let's do it again. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. If that is too much wholes and halves for you to remember, then just remember this number. Starting with whole, 2, 1, 3, 1. The 1 stand for halves. The 2 and 3 stand for wholes. So you can do 2, 1, 3, 1, or you can do whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Now let's talk about what this really is. So remember, our first note is a C. If you are saying a whole note, that means 1, 2. We are saying whole note, 1, 2. We are saying half note, that means 1. We are saying whole note, 1, 2. We are saying whole note, 1, 2. Excuse me. We are saying whole note, 1, 2. And we are saying half note, 1. So technically, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way here, all 1. That is the whole C scale, C major scale. So the major scale formula is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. In other words, 2, 1, 3, 1. And think of the bigger numbers as the wholes, and then the smaller numbers as the halves. Okay? So 2, 1, 3, 1. It's your formation, just like you playing soccer. Okay? All right? So this is the major scale system formula that we teach to our students. Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. In other words, 2, 1, 3, 1. Let's talk about how we would use this in another key. Okay? So say we pick the key of F, which a lot of students like. And we wanted to use the concept of the major scale formula. Remember, 2, 1, 3, 1, or whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. Okay? Remember, larger numbers stand for the wholes, smaller numbers stand for the half. So 2, 1, 3, 1. So 2, 1, 3, 1. So we have F, 1, 2. Okay? That is the first whole. Okay? Then we have 1, 2. Okay? So we have, you got it? Then we have the first half. Okay? That is 1. Then we have the first whole. Not that, right? 1, 2. Then we have the second whole. 1, 2. Then the last whole. And then the last half. You see that? So then we have, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then the half. So the point is, you can see your wholes as, your whole whole, you can see it as, you have to do it 2 times. Your half, you do it 1 time. Then your whole wholes, you do it 3 times. Then your half 1 time. Okay? So if you want to think of 2, 1, 3, 1 to make it simple for you, great. Otherwise, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So with that understanding, we have been able to conquer this struggle, and we now know how to identify our major scale. So the C major scale is what we just went over right now, okay? So the next question, okay, is somebody might ask, okay, well, that sounds very good. Well, how now would I use these concepts to form a chord? So then that is when our chord formation system will come in, okay? To know more about the chord formation system, I will encourage you to register for class, but I'm going to speed it up here, okay? We have a method called 1-4-3 method, okay? Some people might call it 4-3, others might call it 1-4-3. I call it 1-4-3 for the purpose of teaching, okay? For the purpose of teaching. So, what does the 1 mean? What does the 4 mean? What does the 3 mean? Let's talk about that. 1 stands for your root note. Somebody might ask, what is a root note? Okay. Say you saw the keyboard right now and you're like, okay, I'm dealing with this to this, okay? So let me play just any random key. Well, guess what? The key that you just clicked on first, that is your root note. Let's do another example. That is your root note. That's your root note. Root note, okay? So the point is, your root note is whatever you're trying to play in the first key of that. So in this case, we are trying to learn C. So guess what our root note is? Our root note is C. Remember, we said 1-4-3, and the 1 stands for root. So we want to know the C chord. That is an example. The C chord. We know C, but we don't know how to form a chord with C. So we have C, and we know that that C itself is our root note. So now, what is our 4? Listen to the example of 4. 4 stands for 4 notes away from the root. If 4 is 4 notes away from the root, then what do you think 3 stands for? We'll learn about that shortly. So 4 notes away from the root, okay? We have, so the other thing I forgot to mention is when you are counting, never count your root, okay? So you already have your root, you're good to go. Now move on. Don't start counting 1 again, okay? Because 1, that was your root. You are done. Move on. 4 notes away from your root. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And guess what? We got to now figure out what is the 3. So the 3 stands for 3 notes from the middle note. 3 notes from the middle note. Guess what? Are we going to count the middle note? No, we already have that one established. And so now 3 notes from that will be 1, 2, 3. So you guys see how 1-4-3 worked? And we got 1-4-3, and we now know our C. So this is the system to form a chord, or our chord formation system. This is the chord formation system to form a chord. And now we know our C. What if we wanted to do a random key? Let's pick any random key on the keyboard. 2 more examples. Let's do F. We clicked F. That is our root. 1. We need to know 4-3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow! I'm a beast. Bravo, you are doing a good job. You are a beast. So let's figure out one more out, okay? So let's do one of the blacks so we can make it more interesting. Let's do G sharp. We got G sharp. That is our 1, root. Let's go for 4-3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Wow, dude, that is so awesome. Exactly. If you know your system, there is no way you cannot play any key on the keyboard. Okay, so these are just 3 examples, just to help you out. Okay, so that is how you find your chord formation. There is also a system to find your progression. I'm not going to talk about that a lot, but that system is called 152. If you want to know more, register for our classes to learn all these. We have a system to mix keys. And that system is called inversion system. If you want to learn that also, kindly register for our classes. We'll be glad to help you understand that also. So let's talk about some terminologies in music, or the piano music world. Okay, here are some terminologies you should understand. Okay, root, that is your starting point of any chord notation. So if I play C, what is my root? If I play F, what is my root? And we play G sharp. So that was this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. If I play G sharp, what is my root? Got it? If I play D, what is my root? You might wonder, whoa, how did you just play that? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Got it? Very easy. So that is the root, your starting point of any chord notation. Triad. You see how we call this chord? We call this chord. We call this chord. How many fingers do you see clicking a note? 1, 2, 3. What does triad sound like? 3. So guess what a triad is? It's another name for a chord. So if we say play a C triad, guess what? That is also called a C chord. So I can tell you play a C triad. I can say play a C chord. I'm telling you the same thing. Or I can tell you play a C major triad. Remember, this is the major system the major scale we talked about. So all those are called major scales. Okay, so major notes. So C major, F major, G major, and so on. Okay, so C major scale, C major triad. Okay. This is a C major triad or a C major chord. Okay? C major chord or C major triad. Okay? Got it? So that is the whole understanding of what a triad is. Then we have a major triad, which I just talked to you about. Another name for a major chord. Then we have a minor triad, which is another name for a major chord. So since minor just popped in, let me introduce you to what a minor is. A minor is a half step down from the middle note of a major triad or a major chord. Listen to it one more. A minor is a half step down from the middle note of a major triad or a major chord. So in other words, we have a C chord here. It says a minor is a half step down. We already learned about half steps and whole steps. And now it's telling us half step down. So if middle note is this, what is a half step down? No way, half step down. No way, half step down. No way. Correct. F, half step down. No way. No way. Correct. Okay, D. Okay, half step down. Got it? So that is the whole point. So a minor, to understand what a minor is, we use the minor system. And the minor system simply says a minor is a half step down from the middle note of the major triad. And that's what we just went over, okay? So we get an idea of what a minor triad is. So in this case, this C, that is called a C minor triad or C minor chord. Got it? If you did F and we minored F, that will be F minor triad of F minor chord. You got it? So that is the basics of understanding these terminologies that I just introduced to you. Okay? We've talked a little bit about the chord notation system. Okay? There is 3 systems that we like to use, okay, to deal with our chord notation. And the first one we use is called the number system. Let me put it that way. We have the let me not do it that way. Let me flip it around. We have the chord notation system, which is the very simple one for you to understand, okay? The chord notation system. Then we have something called the suffix system. And we have something called the number system, okay? Let's do CEG to help you understand what we're talking about here. So, C chord. C chord says CEG, CEG, CEG. Well, guess what? That is called the chord notation system. What if I wanted to do the same thing but do it in the suffix system? That is where you have to also understand how do you call this CEG in suffix system, okay? So, in suffix system, just like you did your alphabet and you need to know A, B, C, D going, okay, the suffix system, the basic fundamental for you to understand in the major system, okay, is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, okay? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, okay? So, let me go ahead and see if I can help you out here. Let me try and help you out here. I'm going to try and help you guys out here with this. So, with the suffix system, remember when I clicked C, it gave me C. Now, you see this says C is called do. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I don't know if you guys are able to see what I'm trying to teach you. Let me bring that up on camera to help some of you guys who might not be understanding what I'm talking about here to understand real quick. All right, so in this view, you see how I did C and C says C. Now we have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, or C, D, F, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, so when you do C, D all the way to C, that is called note system. Okay, if you do so, do, re, mi, fa, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. If you do it that way, that is called the suffix system. You got it? So that is all I wanted to get to you here. So we have the letters called notation system, notes in other words, okay? The letters are called notes, all right? And then we have the suffix system being the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, which are still letters, but of course you hear something like that, that should sound different, a bit different to you, okay? So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is the suffix, and then C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, that will give you your suffix system. Sorry, your notation system. Okay. All right. So we have our notes, our chord notation system. Okay, and this is the chord system. CEG is chord notation system. Do, re, mi, fa, sol. Do, mi, sol. So CEG is chord notation. Do, mi, sol is suffix notation. And then the number system. The number system is simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 1. Why is it 8 or 1? You can consider it as a new note, or you can consider it as something that you are playing all over. Remember, we're doing just this to this, and it's a repetition of itself. So if it repeats itself, it's technically the same thing. So this could be called 8 or 1, 8 or 1, 8 or 1, 8 or 1, or 1. Okay? Alright? So the 8 or 1 is the ending point of that root, not the beginning. So the beginning is still a 1, the ending point is still a 1, or if you want to introduce it as a new note, sure, 8. Okay, so I call it 8 or 1. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, or 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay, so that is the number system. How do we deal with the note system? The note system says C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay, then the solfege system. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So you got it? So a C is also called 1 or do. A D is also called 2 or re. An E is also called 3 or mi. An F is also called 4 or fa. That one they easy because 4 or fa, it sounds kind of common, okay? So 4 or fa, okay? Then our G, it's also called 5 or so. So, and then our 6 is also called, our A is called a 6 or la. A, 6 or la. Then B, 7 or T, 7 or T. Then back to C, which could be our 1 or do, or our 8 or do. Same thing. So that is our note conversion chart system. That is our note conversion chart system that I just taught you right there. Okay? So if you went through our music school, you will learn all these, but with more details, okay? And more understanding, okay? I'm not going to spend much long here. Major chord formation system. We've talked about that, our 1-4-3 system, okay? We've talked about our minor system. We've talked about our major sharps and flats and our symbols. Let's talk about symbols. Major symbols are represented with a capital letter. Okay, and if you want to know if something is a major, it will have a capital letter, and if it's a minor, it will have a small letter. So a capital M is a major. It's the symbol for a major whatever. Okay. And then the minor M is the symbol for, M, the letter M is the symbol for minor, or is the minor symbol for whatever you are dealing with, okay? So capital M, small m, capital M, major, minor M, small m, minor. Got it? So that is the basics of that. So now we have the major inversion system, okay? So with the major inversion system, I do, or in our teachings, we teach 3 major inversions. We have our normative, okay? We call it normative or our regular. Our regular or normative chord. That will be the normal way you play something, okay? Then we have our first inversion and second inversion. In other words, you can call your regular or normative your first inversion, or you can call your first your second, or you can call your second your third. I have no problem with that. I understand that system, so it doesn't bother me. However, for us, we deal with our regular being our regular normal way of playing it, our regular normative, and we have our first inversion and our second inversion. Let's do C and F, and then I will be done with that section. So C, we already know our C chord. How would I? So this is called our C regular or our C normative, okay? This is the major inversion system, okay? This is the normal way of playing C. In other words, I'm talking to you in music language. However, you should understand what I'm saying here, okay? So C nominative or C normal way of playing, okay? So that is C, E, G. What if I wanted to invert it to my first inversion? So the way our inversions work is this. We have our root and we have 2 extra notes. Our inversions work this way. We deal with those extra notes. So if you have F, we deal with these extra notes, okay? If you have D, we deal with these 2 extra notes here, okay? So in this case, this is C. So we are going to deal with these 2 extra notes, okay? So in this case of C, we are going to go C, E, G, okay? We are going to do the first inversion. And the first inversion, all we're going to do is remember the keyboard is a repetition of itself. So if we see a G here, this is also a G. So what we're going to do with our first inversion is we are going to bring this to this side instead of here. Okay? So that is our first inversion, C. So what do you think our third inversion will be? Keep in mind, our last note now left is this. Remember, this is still our root. So our last note now is an E. So now we're going to bring our E here. And now we will have this. So we have this regular nominative, first inversion, second inversion. So nominative, first inversion, second inversion. Got it? So C, E, G, G, C, E, E, G, C. Okay? So that is our system for dealing with inversions. What if I wanted to invert another key? Let's do F. F is this. I have 2 extra. My last is a C. So that is the first inversion. The second inversion, I have an A. Okay. So A. Okay. So F. I want to invert it. I bring the C opposite. I want to invert it. I bring the A opposite. Let's go back to C and let me show you something. The way I do this is I just walk. So you have your C, first inversion, just walk. Walk. See that? Very simple. Got it? So that's how you deal with inversions, okay? This is our system for inversion based on a few keys that I just taught you, okay? Then we have something called our key transference system. This is your best friend here. Once you learn all our systems that we use for our music school, you are also going to know something called key transference system. And the key transference system is the system that enables you to apply all the various systems and formulas to be able to play every key on the keyboard. So if I teach you C and you know the key transference system, you'll be able to play it in another key. So if I teach you something in C and you learn the key transference system, you don't need to transpose. You could just play it in that new key, okay? So we have something called key transference system. However, it comes with a lot of homework. It comes with a lot of practice. It comes with a lot of time, a lot of things, okay? So with this, I'm not going to be able to go in detail, but I'm going to introduce you to what we teach. We teach you the universal major progression system. The universal, okay, major progression system, okay? And basically, that is just to give you an understanding of the progression in the key of C. In other words, we can teach you a progression in the key of F, a progression in the key of something. So to help you out, we teach you a progression system, and that helps you. So to understand what we are talking about here, all we are talking about is progression. Somebody will ask you, hey, do you know the C progression? That is what we are talking about here, okay? So the universal major progression system. That is what we call ours, okay? And basically, it's the system that uses about 8 major progressions, okay? It could be more, but mainly 8, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, So let's say 7, 8, but for now we'll say 8. It uses 8 major progression out of the major scales as a universal standard of chord movements, okay? And this system is known and recognized as the most common progression in music, all right? So you guys get the idea here? All right, let me see if I have any questions on any of the broadcasts so I can answer your questions for you. All right, I don't have any questions on the website. I don't have any questions on YouTube. I don't have any questions on Facebook. Great. Great. I don't have any questions. Perfect. So that's what I like. It looks like you guys are really understanding everything. I'm getting ready to wrap up, by the way. Like I said, this is not a true time of me teaching you. This is just me introducing you to the world of piano, okay? All right, so that is that concept. The progression system, we use the universal major progression system, commonly recognized as the most common progression in music, okay? All right, so then I have something that I call the UMPS chart. What is a UMPS? What did we just talk about? Universal Major Progression System. So now I built a chart for you so that you can learn all these chords. Remember how we did C, E, G, and then I told you C, E, G is also the same thing as do, re, mi, fa, so, do, mi, so, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 3, 5. Same concept, okay? Well, now you have the chart that deals with every single progression in C. Every single progression in from here to here. Okay? And that is what the UMPS system stands for. Okay? It stands for Universal Major Progression System Chart. And I teach you that in notation system, number system, and solfege system. I can't go over that right now. Like I said, if you want to register, if you want to learn more, register for class. Then we have something called FAT or buffering or clouding chord system. So you can call it clouding chord system, you can call it buffering chord system, or you can call it FAT system. Okay, so FAT system, buffering system, clouding system. That is what I name it as. Okay. And this is basically the system to make chords richer. So in other words, I take C, then I buffer it up, and I play the same C, but with a buffer. You see how it sounds? And then, you see how lighter it sounds? That's what we are talking about. If you want to know how to do that, you register for class. I'll be glad to teach you that, how that works. Okay? Then we have the 7th chord system. If you want to know more about 7th, register for class, I'll teach you. With 7th, we use 3 main 7ths that we deal with. Okay, we deal with a major 7th system, then we deal with a major dominant 7th system, then we deal with a minor dominant 7th system. Most times in a lot of my teachings, you are only going to get to major 7th system more times. The dominant 7 systems I use, but I barely ever talk about them. So, if you want to take time to point it out, of course, you could do that. But most times I just deal with major 7 systems in a lot of my teachings, okay? So, if you want to learn how that system works, what is a major 7th, what is a major dominant 7 system, what is a minor dominant 7 system, register for class. I'll be glad to show you. And I will show you in notation, number, and solfege. Remember, my goal is to teach you in all the 3 systems, okay? And my goal is to teach you a system where you will never have any question, okay? So I teach you in theory, at the same time, you are practicing it, okay? So that's how my teaching is like. Okay, then we have the 7th chord inversion system, okay? So now, how do you invert sevenths? Okay, well, we have a way to help you understand, okay? So we have a lot of things that we teach with our music school. I think I've taught you a lot of things today. I don't want to spend much time. I don't want to spend much time because, this is a free lesson. This is a free lesson. And so I believe, it's a blessing unto you. It's a blessing unto you. So, just accept it. Accept it how it is, and register for class if you feel like you need more understanding on what I'm talking about. Okay. If you feel like you need more understanding on what I'm talking about, just register for class and I'll be glad to help you out. Okay? All right. All right. So we're going to wrap it up. Okay? We're going to wrap it up. So again, if you wanted to learn anything that we've went over, just watch the video later and get all these things from there. Okay. We've learned a few things: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We've learned C, E, G, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, Do, Mi, So. We've learned 1, 3, 5. How to call it. Okay. And we've learned sharps. We've learned flats. We've learned sharps. We've learned flats. We've learned sharps. We've learned flats. Okay, we got it. In the same sense, we've learned half. We've learned whole. 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 We got it. Whole step, half steps. Okay. And I went through a series of things to help you out. Okay. So, guys, this is a lot of information in about what? A little bit over an hour. Okay. So take it and practice with it, and enhance your music. And if you need more practice, you need more lessons, kindly register for our piano class and our music, our piano school. Okay, our school of music. And we'll be glad to help you out. Okay, so the number for you to call +1 571 577 4471. The number again +1 571 577 4471. When you call that number, we'll be glad to talk with you and register you for class. You can also contact us through the email studio@liveforchristnetworks.com. studio@live4christnetworks.com, as you guys can see on the TV, and we'll be glad to talk with you. Okay, all right. So guys, until next time, you all remain blessed and just continue to tune in all the time whenever we bring the piano lessons your way. And we know that we're going to have a lot of great things to teach you, okay? So I hope you guys have been blessed by, our short time today, teaching you basically our entire music school in an hour, basics of it in an hour, okay? So register for class, and we hope to see you soon, okay? Until next time, Minister Stein signing out of Live for Christ Networks, Live for Christ Multimedia Studios, Ashburn, Virginia. Remain blessed, and remember to follow our ministry activities. We are on Twitter, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and we are on Instagram. We also have a website, liveforchristnetworks.com. Go to our website. When you go, we have a music section where you can actually see our music chords. Let me see. Let me see if I could do a screen capture to maybe show you what I'm talking about. Maybe show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to do a screen capture. Let me do one, and let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to do a screen capture, and I'm going to teach you what I'm talking about here. Those of you guys watching on the website, bear with me. I'm going to I'm going to configure it real quick. Give me 1 second for me to do it. All right. All right, great. All right, so let me put my mic in so you guys can hear me. Of course, I'm not using my microphone today. I'm using just how do you call it? I'm using just the internal microphone, okay? The built-in microphone of the laptop, so you guys can't hear me too clearly, but it's good. You guys can still hear me pretty well. Okay, so you go on the website, okay? liveforchristnetworks.com. How does it work? Okay, so when you get on the website, okay, it looks like this, okay? So the first thing for you to do is go inside the music section and go to piano lessons course, okay? We are going to try and upgrade it soon, but for now, and it tells you here, the registration process. In order for you to register, fill this form and submit it to us. Fill this form and submit it to us. All right, we have to update all those for you because we have updated stuff. So we'll update it for you eventually. Now, while you're on our website, say you wanted to learn all these things that I taught you. We have an old version of everything I taught you, and you can learn it here. This is just an old version, so it's not really informative like what I did with you today. Say you wanted to learn the song, You Are Wonderful, You Are Worthy, Oh Lord. Guess what? You click on it, and it's going to show you that. You are wonderful. So see, so we give you glory, Lord, as we honor you. We give you glory, Lord, as we honor you. You are wonderful, for you are worthy, oh Lord. Guys, keep in mind, this is very old. It's not even updated, okay? So if you want to learn the right way, we have all kinds of ways we could teach you. But anyways, that is just an example how you can learn without even, having much knowledge about the music theory. Because, music theory can be very complicated, So let me go back to the website. Is this thing freezing? Okay, good. So while you're there, let's say you want to learn another song. Sure, let's click that. And it tells us how to play that. It says C3. All these things when you take piano school, we will teach you, okay? So say you want to learn that, okay? So that is C. So Yeshira. I'm going according to what is there, okay? So you guys can follow it, and then, so even though you're not registered in piano class, you can make use of these. Like I said, these are very old. So it's made very simple so that it will help you to know how to play piano and stuff like that, okay? Let's do one more example. So I think we have 60. Let's say we wanted to do Adonai, we worship you. Okay, so, that's very simple. So we have C. So you realize a lot of our lessons is in C. That's what we taught. We told you earlier. We teach a lot of our major lessons in C. Okay, so and at the end of the day, if you take music school with us, you will know how to transfer all these to other keys. So that's why you have to enroll in class. Okay, so C. Adonai, we. So you see the G comes before the we. So Adonai, Adonai, we worship you, Son of God. You are so good, Almighty Father. Hallowed be your name. Your dominion is forevermore. Okay, of course, I'm not showing you the keyboard, so you cannot see it. But say I was to put the keyboard on for you to see that, then you'll be able to see what I'm doing here. Okay. All right, and you can learn that quick. Okay, so that is one of the ways to kind of take advantage of us. Okay, take advantage of us, use our system, even though even though you are not registered for class. Okay, you can come here and download all our music sheets. I might add more. I just haven't had the time. Okay, when you come here, you can learn it. High life piano. What is this? Woo, that's a lot of lessons. Guys, go there, make use of these things. Okay, it's going to help you. High life piano. Wow. See, these are years ago, so I didn't even know how they look now, but it's good. Good information. All right, so in our music school, you can come here and you can, understand, get that. If you go in our media section, if you want to watch our TV, always go there and go to our TV section, and you can see us live on our website. So just like some of you guys will watch us on Facebook, when you come here, you see that we are live here, okay? So anytime you want to see that, you just come here and see that we are live. Today, I'm only doing it to the Facebook, All right, so while I'm getting ready to wrap up, let me see. Did I refresh this? Oh yeah, so this is my first lesson that I streamed out, okay? So for you to kind of see that we are live, we are still live, but this is just, the old one, okay? If you want to listen to our radio, come to our radio, bam, and we got music, good music playing for you, okay? Okay, we have a radio. You can go there, listen to our radio. Okay, so that is how you can do. We have a lot of stuff. Okay, we have ministry kind of stuff. We have like quizzes, all kinds of stuff. So go on our website and have fun and learn all these. We have our various ministries. We have to update some of these informations, but just come here and have fun. We have the studio section where you can see some of our studio samples. When you come here, a lot of beats you can mess with. Okay, maybe a reggae beat. You see that? Very nice. We have local sample drums. You see that? Right? If you want to learn how to play that, just learn class. So I'm playing this on my keyboard. We have all these here. We have all this stuff, we have all these. You can go there and download them. I think it's downloadable. I think so. Anyways, that is the studio section. You can go there, have fun. You can look in the gallery section, look at some of our galleries, go there, have fun, look at our ministry activities, that kind of stuff. If you want to see some of our events, okay, you go there, you go to past events, you'll be able to see all the events we have done in the past. Well, is this even updated? Yeah, so this might not be updated. Yeah, of course, you can go there and see all these here. You can become a partner. You want to be partner with our ministry? You want us to support everything you do? Come here, put in the information, give us a message on how you would like to partner with us. You want information? Go there. Power Up Quiz. Those of you guys that love quizzes, you can come here. Okay. When you come here, click start and answer questions. Okay. Who created the heaven and earth? Muhammad. Oops, no. Joseph Smith. Oops, no. God. Oh, yay, correct. In the beginning was the word, blah, 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 blah. Learn all these. These are Bible quizzes, but sometimes we put quizzes for other things too. So go there, have fun. Q&A. You have questions for the ministry. Okay, make use of it. Make use of it. Come here, make use of that. Go to Q&A, ask us any questions you want, and then we'll be glad to answer you. Somebody asked, how do we pray? How do we pray? And then we answer there. 501 people viewed it, 2 answers came in. Okay, go there, see how that works. You go in there, and your questions will be answered. Okay, and we'll teach you that. Okay. So the next thing is, maybe you want to see our blogs. Go there, see some of our blogs of people that we are pushing, charity projects, other things. Our store, we haven't updated in years. We got to update that. Guest book. If you want to go there, put something. You go there, you put something about the multimedia, the ministry. Fine. We'll take it. Wall of Gospiration is just a wall of all kinds of random pictures of inspiration that we used to inspire ourselves from years ago. We're going to try and update that soon for you guys. Okay, if you want to donate and support us, use the support us button, okay? And then donate through PayPal to be a blessing unto us. Click donate. It will take you to PayPal and then just donate to our ministry, okay? You guys see how that works? All right. So that is how you can be a blessing to us, so we can also continue doing what we do. What else? If you want to book us, you click on the booking and then find the date. Oh, we don't have that updated. So we don't have that updated. If you want to contact us, you can click on the contact form and then use that form to contact us, okay? All right, so this is how you can reach us, okay? So you go to your website, go to www.liveforchristnetworks.com, and then it will take you to our website, okay? You see? And then it brings you, and when you come, it brings you to our front page where our radio is playing, powerful worship is playing. You see that? Very, very nice worship. And also when you come, you can also see our social media stuff, okay? So like here you see Reverb Nation. Let's say maybe you're in the TV section. You might see the Facebook and all that stuff. I think we have disabled it because we are doing some configuration on the website. But when you come to the side, you see Facebook and all of them right here on the side. Okay, you can click it to go to our Facebook. Even if you click here, it will take you to our Facebook account, which is where you guys all watch us on Facebook, and you'll be able to see this broadcast live. When you click on the Facebook link, it will bring you there. Okay, and you can see the live program. As you guys can see, we are doing the Piano 101 live right now. People are watching. All right, you can also click on the YouTube, and it'll take you to our YouTube channel, Twitter channel, and LinkedIn, and so on. All right, so guys, this is how you kind of, browse around our website, okay? This is the way you browse around our website. Besides that, Until next time, you all remain blessed, okay? Let me try and maybe do something short and before I get out of your way. Okay, this is just to give you something small before I leave. Okay. 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 All right. So you guys get idea. All right. Very nice. So guys, I think I'm done. All right, so register for our piano school and let's get rolling. I'll be glad to work with you and help you out, okay? Until next time, remain blessed. Minister Stein from L4C Multimedia with you here in Live for Christ Multimedia Studios. Catch you in the next lesson. Remain blessed. Bye-bye.